They chose the moment carefully, photos first. Smiles. My sister centered, as always, effortless, composed, already stepping into whatever came next. I stood slightly behind her, not by instruction, just by habit. Someone handed my father a glass. He lifted it, half laughing. "We're proud of both our daughters," he said. That was the setup. It always was. He turned slightly toward my sister. Listed her achievements like a resume he'd memorized. The room responded the way it should, approval recognition, a kind of collective agreement. Then he looked at me. "You'll never measure up to your sister," he said, almost lightly, as if it were a joke we all understood. There was a pause. Not long enough to challenge him. Just long enough for it to settle. A few people smiled awkwardly. My mother didn't correct it. She adjusted the flowers on the table instead, like something needed fixing. I didn't outwardly. Something in me just aligned. Like a thought I'd been circling finally found its center. That was the last time I tried to be legible to them. I didn't leave dramatically. I moved the way people do when they're reorganizing their lives for practical reasons. A job opportunity, a smaller place, a different city that made sense on paper. I told them. They acknowledged it. There was no resistance, no concern that matched the scale of the change. My sister texted once, "Proud of you. You'll figure it out." It wasn't dismissive. Just distant. After that, time did what it does. Calls became occasional. Then conditional, then mostly gone. Holidays passed with polite messages. Photos I wasn't in. Updates I wasn't asked for. It didn't feel like exile. It felt like being quietly set down. I built something that didn't need translation. Work that required attention, not approval. A routine that held without anyone witnessing it. People who didn't ask me to explain where I came from before deciding how to treat me. It wasn't impressive in the way my family understood success. It was stable, and over time, that became enough. Years later, my sister called, not texted. Called, I almost didn't answer. Not out of resentment, just unfamiliarity. Her name on my screen felt like something from a previous version of my life. "I'm in your city," she said. No lead up. No explanation. "Okay," I said. "I thought we could meet." So of course she did. Somewhere neutral. Quiet, curated. The kind of place that allowed observation without interference. When she saw me, she paused, not dramatically. Just recalibrating. "You look," she started, then stopped, "different." "I am," I said. We ordered. Spoke about small things first. Safe ground. Weather. The kind of details that don't reveal anything unless you're listening closely. But she wasn't there for that. "I wanted to see how you were doing," she said eventually. It sounded reasonable. It wasn't the whole truth. I let her look. At my hands, my posture. The way I answered questions without filling silence. She was measuring something, even if she didn't have the language for it yet. "What do you do now?" she asked. I told her. Not the summary version. The actual structure of it, how it ran, what it required, the decisions that shaped it. She listened. Really listened. That was new. "And it works?" she asked, almost carefully. "It does." She nodded, but there was something unsettled in it. Not disbelief. Just adjustment. Later, she asked to see where I worked. I hesitated for a moment. Not because I didn't want to show her. Because I understood what it would mean once she saw it. Then I said yes. The office wasn't impressive at first glance. Deliberately so. Functional. Quiet. People moving with purpose, not performance. Systems in place that didn't require explanation to function. She noticed the details. The way people greeted me. Not deferentially, not casually. Just with a recognition that didn't need to be performed. "Is this yours?" she asked. Less. She didn't speak for a while after that. When we sat down again, she looked at me differently. Not above, not beside, just directly. "I didn't expect this," she said. "I know." It wasn't an accusation, just a fact. She stayed one more day. We didn't resolve anything. Didn't revisit the graduation. Didn't dissect the years in between. She asked questions that mattered, not about success. About decisions. About why I chose certain things and not others. I answered what I could. When she left, she hugged me. Briefly. Not out of obligation. Just because it felt appropriate. "Mom and Dad will want to know," she said. I nodded. "They might not understand it," she added. I'm not asking them to. She looked like she wanted to say more. Didn't. Then she left. I didn't hear from my parents directly, not at first. What came instead were small things. A message asking for my address, phrased casually. A question about what exactly I was doing now, sent without context. Then silence again. But it felt different this time, not absence, awareness. Later, my sister texted. They're concerned. I stared at that word for a while. Concern had never been part of the equation before. I typed back, then erased it. Typed again. I'm fine, I sent. It wasn't reassurance, just information. Nothing collapsed. Nothing resolved. But something shifted. They knew now, not in the way they would preferred, not in a version they could easily explain. But enough. Enough to understand that I hadn't disappeared. I had just continued. Without them defining what that meant. And whatever my sister told them. Whatever details she chose to include or leave out. It was the first time they had to consider a version of me that didn't need their comparison to exist. That seemed to be what unsettled them most. Not what I'd built. Just that I'd built it without asking.